hello there. Ugh, you guys having a lovely day? Lovely evening here? Well, imagine having a contract with somebody, working for them, thinking everything was good, buying a motorcycle they were supposed to sponsor, and then having them pretend like none of that he existed, not paying you the money they owe you. And imagine that after they fired one of their employees and said, it's not our fault, you can sue him. Yeah, this is the story of Flying Eyes. Let's get on the bike and ride, man. We gotta talk about this. You may think, why do I even talk about it in the first place? I gotta make sure if there's some potential person out there, some influencer like myself that's being contacted by these bros and you're thinking about working with them, I want you to know who these people are. And if you're a potential customer of them, I want you to know who these people are. And if you're a potential sponsor for myself or anybody else for that matter, I want you to know. You want to play around, we're going to talk about it, okay? I am an influencer. I'm going to do influencer things, all right? So forgive me for ranting a little bit, but this is a story that's crazy, and I really need to get it off my chest is a big thing too. I needed to talk about this. I needed to put it out there. I gotta apologize to the Patreons. I know you guys have heard all of this mess already. We've been talking about this like in real time. Also, just so you know, if you're worried about me on a legal standpoint making this video, I've got all the receipts, as the kids say. I've got all the stuff. I got emails, I've got contracts, I've got recorded phone conversations, which yes, I can do in Texas. Everything I'm gonna tell you is just the truth. It's the truth. It can be easily proven. Deflamination? What's the word I'm thinking about? They can't use that on me, okay? All I'm going to talk about is the truth that I can prove. Everything else I'll tell you when I'm speculating or something like that. Flying Eyes, I've been doing ads for them for like the last, almost year now. They're the people that make the glasses that I'm wearing right now. I'm gonna have to figure something out with these. I actually did an ad for them years and years ago. That's where you always saw those real thin, the curved ones I was always wearing. About a year ago, they got in contact with me. Went out to MotoGP because they're out there in Austin. We watched a race together. We hung out. They wanted to talk to me and everything seemed like on the up and up. And they're like, hey, let's work together. For me, for a product I was already using and believed in, that's always such a win-win. They were talking to me about doing like a year-long contract right off the bat, doing motorcycle sponsor project. We both agreed we should feel each other out, see like, how that relationship goes. Initially, we just did like a couple-month contract, couple ads. So we do these ads. They like the ads. I found them easy to work with. I thought their compensation was good. At the end of that period, they're like, that's awesome, it's good. Let's sign you to a year contract and let's talk about this bike project. From there, we didn't do the contract because what happened was it seemed like every month they were busy. The guy was running to this event, to that event. He seemed like he was completely just strung out busy. And okay, fair enough. He kept saying, hey, just do another couple ads. We'll just pay you the same rate. And so we did a number of ads that were just like, I trust you, you trust me. There was no contract. I was getting paid, but I still was like, yeah, let's get this long-term deal going. The problem was I was also like turning down ads from other people I could have potentially worked with. I got another guy who just gives me general ads, like the kind of the normal YouTuber ones you hear people do. And I was telling him, hey, I don't want to overload it right now. I got this long-term sponsor. I got to make sure we have good ads for them, right? Like every other month we would do a round of ads and then we'd have like a month off. And I also remind you, they were the ones that kept bringing up to me this whole thing about doing a bike project. Around that time, I'd sold the 300L, was kind of looking around for a new bike project, right? What am I going to do next? I did that review video on one of these Shero Supermos. I was like, dude, this thing's actually awesome. Like maybe I should, there's not a lot of content about this thing, blah, blah, blah. This could be interesting. Let's see. I hit up the guys at Flying Eyes. This wasn't just like, hey, give me money and I'll say it's sponsored by you guys. Their logos were going to be huge up and down this thing. Big old Flying Eyes down the side. I was going to make this thing available for different meetups or events they would go to. They show up at different moto events. They got their tents, whether I could bring it to them or if they want to come and scoop it up. We're both in Texas, oh, you're going up to Road America for the thing. You want to take it with you. I was going to call this thing the Flying Eyes 500, contractually obligated to say, like it was a sponsor, like make a meme about it. You make a meme about it. They were like, this sounds great. Let's do it. You understand, when it comes to something like this, this is a job for me. I got to make these things financially make sense. So, we always want to work with sponsors. I call different people I think are going to be able to hook me up with parts. Revzilla did and a number of other people. I even talked to Shero USA. They went in on this with me. So you've got a bunch of pieces coming together, right? I hit up my contact there. By the way, my main contact at this point, we'll call him Ham. He's not a big guy or anything. We'll just call him Ham. I was like, Ham, I'm going to go get this Shero. I got to go pick it up today. It's in. Like, we're good on that deal, right? Because if you're not, I probably won't do it, Like, it's an amazing bike, but like I said, I gotta make these things all make sense, and we'll figure something else out. He goes, yep, you're good, let's go. Cool, I go pick it up. I get home, and I get a call from him that night saying, hey, man, I got some bad news. We're not gonna be able to pull the trigger on this whole Shero deal. Buddy, I'm looking at the bike. What are you talking about? We're not gonna be able to pull the trigger on this deal. Something about finances and budgets and blah, blah, blah. Ham is all apologetic. Ham is a pretty good smooth talker, but like, nah, dude, this is bad. This is a bad deal. But I was like, well, I didn't have a contract. It is what it is. I figured that was the last I was going to work with this company. A couple months later, he starts hitting me up about doing different ads for different things. And hey, we're going to do this and that, and a Black Friday ad, and this ad and that ad. Wait, hold on. This whole Shero deal, this is a bad deal. We can't work together until this is resolved. I basically sent him a real kind of a butt-headed email where I laid it all out for him. Because of the things you've told me, I refused a bunch of ads that I would have normally done, and I bought a motorcycle that I wouldn't have bought. Part of this is my fault, and I'm going to tell you right now, have signed contracts. It's gonna come back in this story. I wish this was the end of it. It gets way worse. I got a call back from Ham right after sending him that email. It's all hat in hand. I'm sorry, man, and you're right. When I get back down, I'm gonna work on a contract. We're gonna get this contract to you, this year-long contract, and we're gonna get you paid on this Shero deal. And sure enough, when he gets back in town, I had a contract, year-long contract, 2 videos a month, something here and there, this quarter, that quarter. The contract was going to start at the beginning of this year. All was good. The only thing that wasn't in there was the deal on the Shero. It just wasn't in there. I said, well, what about the Shero? Oh, we'll have to get that on a separate contract. I already felt like that was a bad idea. Again, like, I haven't met this guy. I don't know, man. Maybe I just have too much faith in people. But I was like, yeah, sure, this is surely going to happen. So it still seemed, we had such good conversations. We had the best conversations. I talked to Putin. It was a great conversation. He's still bombing Ukraine. It's just because you have a good conversation doesn't mean one thing me and Donald Trump has learned. We'll get it to you. Don't worry about it. Fine. I signed on the dotted line and I sent in the contract. Right after I send the contract in, within like the next day or two, I get contacted by another gal that works for Flying Eyes. I'll call her Cheese. Hey, welcome to the team. Blah 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 blah. If you need anything, let me know. Oh, hey, are you going to come to, what's the big motorcycle event? ICMA or whatever, the one out in Vegas? We're going to be out there. Can you get out there? We'd love to do a meet and greet with you. No, I couldn't make it to that, but it was very last minute. He goes, oh, let me get you on the website. You're an ambassador, so we got to get you on there. And in fact, actually, the funny thing is that I'm making this, I still am an ambassador on there. They haven't fixed it. This will be funny, actually, because I can upload videos to my own personal page. So I'm going to upload this one, too, and it's going to be real funny. We'll see how long it takes me to fix it. Comment below if you're watching this video and it's still up there. Let me know. I'm not going to do it till the public version comes out. For those of you on Patreon, they're going to get this early. Comment if you see this on there as the main video. Obviously, Cheese knows I'm on board. I'm working there now, right? It's not like an accident. I'm telling you all these things because this is going to come back. This is very important. I start making my ads. Make the ad, and you got to send it to them and say, is this okay? Sometimes they want changes. And I'm sending them to both Ham and Cheese, but mainly I'm dealing with Cheese, it seems like now. Like, Ham seems to be like maybe the, it gets the contracts going, and then Cheese is kind of running them. We have a pretty regular back and forth as I'm making ads, and she has to approve them. And I ask you, why would someone be making ads for you on their YouTube channel? Do you think I was doing it out of the kindness of my heart and getting them approved? No, and everyone knows that. Again, this is gonna... I do the first couple months of the year. She's approving them. Life is good. There's just one thing. I'm starting to go into March. I haven't been paid yet this year for the previous 2 months. And I also haven't seen anything about the Shero, the contract, the money for it. In fact, I was like already talking to graphics people, but I was sort of holding off on getting graphics made because I was like, well, I need to see the money, guys. I did get full race letters made with their logo put across the front of it. We had to come up with a real hilarious patch. I'm messaging Cheese and saying, I haven't been paid yet. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry about that. The payments are being processed. Just hang on, they're being processed. Oh, okay. Then again, a few weeks later, hey, I still haven't seen they're being processed. So again, she's telling me, and I have emails of her telling me my payments are being processed. Again, why would you tell someone their payments are being processed if they don't work for you? Anyway, getting into March a bit. I've reached out to several other people that also do ads with them. I said, hey, have you been paid this year? They said, no, I haven't. I don't know what's going on with that, including somebody who's, I won't say her name, but she's a pretty big sponsor thing over there. They use her a lot. She hadn't been getting paid. It's like, if she's not getting paid, well, I'm really not getting paid, so I'm not wondering, okay, maybe something's going on here. And the thing is, by the way, I asked them several times, are you guys having money issues? Because if they were, I was willing to work with them. I was gonna try to help figure something out. So I said to them one fine March day, I would like to get paid for this month, for the last 2 months, and I really want to see something going on with the Shero thing. And Cheese tells me, this is the first time I brought it up directly to Cheese. I'd always talk to the Shero deal with Ham. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry, what's the Shero deal? I'm not aware of that. What is that? And I said, it's a deal I made with Ham. You need to go talk to Ham. And she emails me back. She goes, I just talked to Ham. He said that was never agreed upon. I said, oh, really? I said, well, I guess I better freaking call him. And boy, this gets awkward, y'all. I call up Ham. Ham, And he answers like first ring. What's going on? He's like, yeah, man. I can't really talk right now. I'll call you back in a bit. Okay. Well, I get a call not back from him in a bit, but I got somebody else up at the old Flying Eyes. Tells me that Ham has been fired. In fact, the guy calls me, we'll call him Sandwich. Sandwich says, hey, look, Ham has been making crazy promises and deals behind our back we didn't know about. That whole Shero thing, I didn't even know, like we don't know about that. Well, that's not particularly great. I said right there, I don't know how you think I'm going to continue to do the next, 10 months of our contract. You guys are screwing me on this deal like that, And he's like, well, we'll look into that deal, but he's telling me, I don't think we're going to be able to do that, though. I don't know, man. That doesn't really sound like something we would do. It is something you would do. You did it with Spite. That's where I came up with the amount. In fact, I was charging the same as Spite, and all Spite did was say, sponsored, Flying Guys help sponsor this bike in like one video. I was going to plaster your shit down the bike and do a whole thing. It's going to make it a whole thing, which really felt like it was too much. But I was like, in good faith, for this company that's local to me in Texas, I'll do this thing. We'll do a little extra because I want to build this into a relationship. Well, I don't know. We'll have to talk about that. We'll have to talk about that on Monday. We finally have a phone conversation. We've done you dirty on the Shero deal. You offer me like maybe like an eighth or so of like what it was actually worth. I don't know if he was still expecting me to do like all the sponsor stuff for that. Didn't really get to the details of that. Anyways, I said let's talk about the actual contract and what you guys owe me on that. Like, what do we want to do? Because honestly, if they had said, we'll just pay you for the first couple months, that's all I was going to get out of them, I would not have been happy about it, but I wouldn't have been making this video. No, it goes beyond that. He goes, at this point, he now decides to say to me, wait, we have a contract together for the next year? Yeah, buddy. I wasn't aware of that. I have nothing about that. I said, no, we have a contract for the next year. Why do you think I was doing these ads? Why do you think I'm like an ambassador on your website? Why do you think Cheese has been approving my ads? Do you think I was doing those to be nice? I don't know about that, man, and I'm not going to be paying you out some contract if I don't have a signed version of the contract. Oh, this dude already knew what he was doing, and this is where I f***ed up. They never sent me back their version of the contract signed. I signed it, sent it to them. And why don't you have a DocuSign account like everybody else in the world? I didn't have one of those, so I would just have to like get them, sign them, scan it, send it back, whatever, right? And it's stupid. You got to get your signed contracts back. This is where I probably hurt myself. He used that leverage. He said, well, I'm not going to pay you then. I was like, dude, in good faith, we had a contract, we had a deal, and you're just not going to do it. It gets even better. They said, hey, man, you could sue Ham if you want. Oh, I can sue your former employee. First of all, thank you for the permission to sue your former employee. I don't think this is how this works, though. I mean, like, if I went to Walmart to get my oil changed because I'm beta male, and they drop my car off the lift and then fire the employee that dropped my car off the lift, they don't then come to you and say, hey, sorry about that, but if you want, you can sue the employee that dropped your car off the lift. That's not okay. This is through your email at Flying Eyes Optical. This is a guy that worked for you. He's your employee. Maybe he did do a bunch of shady stuff. Maybe he made a contract behind your back and you didn't know about it. I don't believe that. Maybe the Shero thing, maybe. I still, but maybe. It doesn't give him an excuse, but maybe. But the contract thing where Cheese has been getting at me and we've been working deals and doing stuff and you're gonna pretend that that's not a real deal? So that's where I'm at with it. Bought this bike that I wouldn't have bought. Didn't get paid for 4 ads. I did, as well as the quarterly, one of the little quarterly things I have to do, make like a little short reel thing for them. Yeah, they just ain't gonna pay me on that. They're not gonna honor the 12-month contract we had, just at all. Like, hey, it's a good thing I made a point of it and started like asking questions, because what if I got to this point a year and was like, hey guys, what's going on? I feel like they almost were trying to do me like the Office Space thing where the guy kept getting a paycheck who was fired and they were like, didn't tell him. But ultimately, I think what's actually happened with these guys, I think they have maybe had some financial issues. This is me just speculating at this point. This is the stuff I'm just guessing on. I think maybe financially they might be having some issues. I don't know. Again, I try to give them outs on that. At least with like the Rock thing, they still were within contract. They used their clause to get out of the contract, which everybody has, and they paid me for what they owed me, and they even went back and paid me for that missing month they forgot to pay me. You remember that? They paid me for the month they didn't pay me for? I would actually say about 95% of people, 95% of people I work with are very happy and willing to work with me again. Now that it's done, this is gonna be so great. I'm gonna edit this. I don't have to think about this anymore. I'm so glad to be done with this, but I wanted to do it. I wanted to put this out here so everybody knows what happened. I want people to know. I want people that are gonna consider this brand, whether to work with them, to buy from them, to know this story. These videos can be risky, right? Because you go, well, I don't want someone who would have potentially worked with me to see this and go, what if things go bad? He's gonna make a video about us. And what I'd say to that is, look, if you're a potential sponsor, somebody's gonna work with me, and you seeing this video and it makes you not want to work with me, then we don't need to work together. put it like that. I'm not gonna say anymore. We don't need to work together. Fun. Lots of fun we're having around here. I could go back like 1 year ago, like, Jake, just don't do it. Don't do it. If you do want to help support this channel, we have a Patreon. We have a Discord. This feels like a weight lifted literally just talking about this, man. This actually is like really good. Next video will be fun. I think we're gonna put the LED light on this thing. Riding around here at night is terrible. I have an LED light we're gonna put on this. It's super dope, honestly. It looks so cool. All right, y'all, take care.